Hi kids. Our next piece of music is by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And it's what we call a theme and variations. And what that is that Mozart took a tune and he kind of changed it up a little bit. So different things might have changed. You can kind of hear the same song throughout, but it sounds a little bit different. So the tune that he chose to use is one that we actually use today as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the theme, which sounds most like the song we know, and your job is to figure out what song uses this tune. Now, if you figure it out right away because you're so smart, I'm going to give you an extra challenge. Because there are actually 3 songs that use the same tune. So if you can figure out one of them, see if you can figure out all 3. And I'll be back after we play this tune to see if you figured out at least one and maybe all 3 of the songs that use this tune. So did you figure it out? What song did it sound like? Now usually the first one that people come up with is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Is that the one you thought of? All right, but there's others, so if you didn't get that one, that's okay, because it's also the alphabet song, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then usually the hardest one for people to figure out is Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? So those are the 3 answers. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, the ABCs, and ba, ba, black sheep. So if you figured out all 3, that's amazing. That's so hard to do. But even if you only got 1, that's still really good. So good job. So now that we've played the theme and you've figured out what songs use that tune, we're going to play a few of the variations. So Mozart wrote 12 variations on this theme, but we've picked 4 of them to play for you today because 12 would take a long time. And so we've chosen these 4 because they're the ones that are easier to tell what it was that Mozart changed. So we're going to give you a job as you're listening. Your job is to figure out what Mozart changed in each of the variations. Now we need to learn about a couple of music words first to be able to help you with your job. So the first music word is staccato. And when we play staccato, the notes are short and bouncy. Let me show you. So those are staccato notes. We're going to put a picture up on the screen now, and it's going to be mice that are jumping. And when you see the mice jumping, I want you to think about those short, bouncy sounds. Do you remember what the word was? If you said staccato, you're right. So short and bouncy is staccato. The next music word we need to learn about is minor. And minor sounds sad. Can you make a pouty face with me? Yeah, it's sad. So I'm going to play you a little tune. I'm going to play it major, which is the normal way. And then I'm going to make it minor and listen to how it sounds sad. Okay, here's the original. And now I'm going to make it minor or sad. So that's what you're listening for. If it sounds minor, it sounds sad like that. So now that you've learned your music words, we're all set to play the variations. So for each variation, we're going to put up 5 choices on the screen of what Mozart might have changed. So our first choice is faster notes. So we see a picture of a cheetah because cheetahs run really fast. And then our second choice is staccato that we learned about. We see those mice bouncing like we talked about. the short bouncy sounds. And the third option is minor. We talked about that one too. So there's a sad emoji on there to remember that it's sad. And the fourth option is a slower beat. So we have a picture of a snail there because snails are really slow. And then the fifth option is rock and roll. So we have a drum kit there because a lot of rock and roll pieces include the drums. So each time after we're done our variations, we're going to put those 5 options on the screen and you need to figure out which one is the correct one. We'll then show you the right answer on the screen and then that option is gone. We're going to cross that one out, and for the next variation, now you only have 4 choices. And then after that, you'll have 3 choices, and the options keep getting smaller and smaller as you go. Remember, we're only playing 4 variations, and there's 5 options. So it's not going to be super easy at the end. You'll still have 2 choices. All right, I hope that you enjoy our 4 variations, and good luck on figuring out what Mozart changed. So I don't think I need to show up between each variation, but I thought I would make sure that you understood what to do for this first one. So just a reminder that we're going to put 5 options up on the screen, and your job is to figure out what thing we just changed in the variation we did. So we're going to put all of the options up there for 10 seconds. So you have 10 seconds to try to figure out what you think is the right answer. And then after 10 seconds, we're going to flash the proper answer up on the screen to see if you got it right. So just a reminder, I'm not going to show up the next time, but you know that all the answers will be there for 10 seconds, and then we'll put the right answer up so you can see if you have figured it out correctly. So how did you do? Did you get any of them correct? It's kind of tricky, so it's okay if you had troubles with this. I hope you still enjoyed the music anyway. So there was one option left that we never picked. Do you remember what it was? It was rock and roll. And when we go into schools and do shows, a lot of times people ask, well, why didn't you play a rock and roll variation? But the thing is, when Mozart was alive, rock and roll music didn't exist, so he didn't know how to write a rock and roll variation. But Michael, who plays French horn in our group, he decided that we needed a rock and roll variation on Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So he composed his own variation called Twinkle Rock. And we're going to finish off our video with playing Twinkle Rock for you. I hope you enjoy it.